So tomorrow's July 4th, and here's the old Liberty Bell. Independence Day. Um, I thought it would be a good idea, given my sort of political rant about cowardice and uh, some issues yesterday with respect to this bill that was passed by the Senate. I thought today would be a good practice to take a step back and actually appreciate what it is that we do in fact have. Um, so July 4th is obviously it's a celebration of some form of independence, or something happened that created this unique experience that we're all beneficiaries of here, called the United States of America. And is this country perfect? Absolutely not. Um, oh, I just saw a note that the House passed the bill. Okay, thank you for that. So yeah, are we perfect? Of course not, right? But it's also very easy. I notice this all the time when I get sucked into my doom scrolling on YouTube or elsewhere. It's very easy to get wrapped up in all the negativity and all the things that we don't have. So I wanted to carve out a few minutes today to activate those parts of ourselves to just ponder and feel into what it is that we do in fact have, that is the direct result of this event that happened back in 1776. And we're all the descendants and the beneficiaries of that. So let's start by closing our eyes. And as always in these sessions, just dropping into here and now. So noticing the body, the gentle tug of gravity, pulling the feet and the body towards the ground. See if you can straighten the spine just a little bit. Open up the chest and allow this gentle pull of this invisible thread through the top of our head towards the sky. And I think of this posture as being relaxed, yet alert and present. I think it's a good way to imagine ourselves going through life, relaxed, yet alert, grounded, yet open and malleable, receptive. And then I'll take us through a few themes here that I think I'll admittedly mention that some of these feel like platitudes. We can very easily sort of roll our eyes and have a cynical attitude towards some of these statements, but see what you can do in terms of really feeling into whatever truth you find here. So the first one is freedom. So tomorrow is a celebration of freedom. And of course, freedom means different things to different people, different circumstances, greater freedoms for some, lesser freedoms for others. I think the lens through which I'm approaching this idea of freedom here is, imagine how 200 years ago life would have been for us. So same people that we are, just living 200 years ago, and just feeling into what it means to have the freedoms that we have now, that we get to enjoy on a daily basis, by sheer circumstance of being alive today in this part of the planet. Just appreciating freedom of speech, freedom to live where we want to live, freedom to be the kinds of people we want to be with, practice whatever religion appeals to us. And again, none of this is perfect, and there are definitely constraints and issues that we need to grapple with. But just imagine 200 years ago how different sense of freedom would be. And the next one is prosperity. Again, another overused term. Let's just pause for a second and feel into some gratitude for the prosperity that we enjoy. Again, part of it is this time in history where we find ourselves compared to a couple hundred years ago. And part of it is just the luck of being a part of this United States of America. There's an unprecedented prosperity, certainly in a material level, that we get to experience by virtue of being here and not there, wherever there might be. Access to food, a lot of the things we practice in our other gratitude sessions, running water, drinkable water, flushing toilets, electricity. It's the kind of convenience and prosperity that even the kings in our history books didn't enjoy, and yet for us it's pretty commonplace. And then peace. Again, this is obviously a loaded one, but just taking a step back, and I've been alive for almost 55 years this month, and for whatever reason, I've been blessed and lucky to not have ever been involved in a war. And I know a lot of my peers have had that luxury. Back in 1945, we just ended a world war, and it affected everyone, hundreds of millions of people. For whatever reason, over the last 90 or so years, many of us have been spared that fate. Just appreciating, taking a moment to appreciate that. And then democracy, again, I think these are all sort of loaded terms, right? They activate us. I think one of the reasons they get activated is because some of us are feeling a threat to the sense of peace or prosperity or freedom. And democracy is certainly one of those terms. But just appreciating for the most part, how our societies function in this country. It's far from perfect, but it is a whole lot better than most of humanity has experienced throughout history. It's just taking a moment to appreciate what we do in fact have. And progress, another platitude. This one's pretty simple for me. It's literally just using our imagination to think back to what was it like 150, 200 years ago, or even further down the road in history. What was healthcare like? What was hygiene like? What was access to food like? What about conveniences that I mentioned earlier, like running water, electricity, access to information, cell phones? We all have this magical device in our pocket that gives us access to all kinds of things that were unthinkable 100 years ago. Just appreciating progress in its positive forms, how it affects us on a daily basis, and how we're the beneficiaries right now of this progress. There's obviously a lot more to be thankful for on July 4th. These are actually just some some access points to gratitude. As always, noticing where this feeling of gratitude lives in the body. Where do you feel it? And take a deep breath in through the nose. Long, slow exhale. Relaxing the hands, the belly, the chest, the shoulders. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another deep inhale through the nose. Slow exhale. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And open your eyes. Come on back to the session. Um, yeah, I think for me the main switch that I'm throwing here for this gratitude on July 4th is just taking a moment to appreciate what we do have. And I don't think that in any way excuses the threats to democracy or freedom or things that many of us are experiencing. If anything, it makes it that much more precious to actually notice what it is that we do have and what we're afraid of losing, and may that be sort of the source of whatever energy or righteous indignation we need to do what we got to do to keep it. So hope that was helpful. Take care, everyone. See you on Monday, and take the day off tomorrow. Hope you guys do too.